Have you figured out your niche? Are you helping adding value to other people's lives? Then you're in the right place. Welcome to Munira's Musings with your host, co-author of Conversations with Top Real Estate Investors Volume 3, Munira Zahabi.
Greetings from Chicagoland. This is Munira, the niche navigator, coming to you live. I have with me Jennifer Whitmore, all the way from Virginia Beach. Hi, Jennifer. Thank you for being on my show. Jennifer teaches business professionals on the go how to eat and be well. I want to learn more about that. But before we do, let me tell you a little bit about who I am, what I do, and how we can help you. So I am Munira Zahabi. I am the niche navigator. I help people find their niches because finding a niche is something very important. This show is all about niches, and we know that because we've brought so many guests on. Munira's Musings is the show, and we bring on people because they found their niche in life and they're doing extraordinary things with their gifts that's been given, taking the leap of faith. And that's a word that's coming to mind a lot these days because business is a leap of faith. So let's talk to Jennifer and see how she did hers. Hi, Jennifer. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
About myself?
Yes.
Okay. So I have two kids. I've been married for almost 15 years. I've lived in Virginia Beach for almost 15 years. And I have always been very attracted to the health and wellness side of life. And so I started working at the gym right after my daughter was born. And I worked there for about 10 years. But my parents actually own their own business. So I've always had that bug. I've always had that wanting to work for myself. And so I started working for myself once we moved into a new house. I'm a personal trainer. And then I kind of stumbled my way into my brand new business, which is Road Warrior Wellness Concierge.
So what does a Road Warrior Concierge do?
Yeah, so my husband got a new job about 5-ish years ago, and I started to become more aware of people who travel for work all the time. We didn't actually think that he was going to travel as much as he does, and so therefore we became friends with a lot of other people. I was friends with wives of people that travel, and of course, Virginia Beach is a military town. And so all of the wives here have husbands that travel in the military. And I became very aware of people who travel all the time, how it affects their health, because that's the world I was already in. And so I was literally in the shower one day and I thought, you know what? These people could really use some help on the health and wellness side of life because they travel so much. They come into these situations where they are out of control a lot of times. And the reason they're out of control is because they're out of their element. Their job requires them to travel, and usually they're going to different places. So as often as they travel, they don't have the time to get into a routine at home. And then, of course, when they're gone, they don't have the availability to have a routine when they're gone either because they're in a new place all the time. So they don't know where to work out. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to eat. They're very busy because they're usually there for meetings and client dinners. And so it just goes around and around in this vicious cycle where they don't know how to help themselves when it comes to their nutrition and their exercising.
I used to work in corporate and I used to travel all the time.
Really?
And, yeah, I did. And the thing is, you find the restaurant very close to your hotel and the options are always not very good because you have to, sometimes companies allow you to be on a budget only sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And then all those factors come into play. So that's a wonderful idea. And I'm sure that so many travelers, not only in the military field, but so many others who you are being exposed to enjoy what you are doing. So tell me, when you got this idea, how did you transition from being a personal coach to this, the warrior?
Well, I've kind of got my feet in both categories. So I still do have personal training clients. And this is, we're just now getting it up and off the ground. And so Road Warrior Wellness is, I want to say my main project right now, but the transition phase was pretty easy because I was so very clear on what I was supposed to do. Like I said, the idea, came to me, but I do feel like that it was this sort of, I don't know, like eye-opening sort of experience, like this is it, this is what I'm supposed to do. And so it was immediately put into action. I immediately started researching. I immediately started trying to figure out if I could make this work for people, if they would be interested in it. And every single person that I have talked to, I have not had not one negative response about this availability, because it helps them so much. Because like you said, most of the time you're trying to eat as close to your hotel or your conference center as possible, and the options are not always great. And a lot of times where you're working so late, you just take what you can get. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, well, it's 10:30 and I'm starving because I've been in meetings all day and I haven't eaten. I'll just get a pizza, or I'll just get a sandwich on the way back to the hotel. Whatever's available is what you take, regardless of whether it's in line with your goals or not, because you're just tired. And so that's where we come in. We help people find the healthy food based on their goals for them. And then we also build them exercise plans, either, at the gym that's, possibly 2 blocks away, or in the hotel gym that they have access to, or even in the privacy of their hotel room if they would rather do that sort of thing on their own. So we're very customizable to what the client wants. But yeah, it was very easy for me to transition into this because I knew exactly what I was going to be doing with it.
So you said you customize. So say somebody like me who has diet restrictions, can't eat a lot of salt, can't eat a lot of pork, no meat, or vegan, exercise in the room, can't do gyms and stuff because you're biased. So
yeah.
How do you help people like me?
Okay. So basically, we have an intake form, like you would fill it out, and it gives us all that information. If you have any dietary restrictions and what you're specifically looking for. And then so what we do, we have a phone call after the fact to make sure that we have all the details of your trip. And then we will go and build you your wellness itinerary. And you will have your own client portal login to where you can find your nutrition options and your exercise plan. And so for someone like you who has restrictions, we're going to look for the closest restaurants available to where you're staying. And then we're also going to dial it a little bit further and see what we can find as far as what your dietary needs are. So if we can find places that have vegan options, or if we can find places that are just a little bit more on the healthier side so that you can avoid that kind of salt, we will give you a list of those restaurant options. And we'll tell you, how far away they are, that we'll give you the address, we'll give you the phone number, because a lot of times these business people, not only are they really busy, but they don't have access to a car. And so we let them know, hey, you can use Uber Eats to get this food to you. You can use Grubhub to get this food to you. So we try to give you as much information as possible because we know that you're busy. And so we're trying to give you that control back into your life where you don't even have to worry about it. You've already got everything that you need all you have to do is call and order your food or just go in and pick it up. And then when it comes to your exercise side, of course, we go through all of that with our phone call. You know, if you have any physical limitations, if you've got any injuries, if there's anything you can, like you want to do, anything that you can't do, and then we'll build you an exercise plan based on that, exactly like a personal trainer would at your home. And so we'll give you your exercise plan that you can do in your hotel room. And depending on, you know, what you're looking for, what your goals are, what your physical capabilities are, you know, your workout could be anywhere between 15 minutes to an hour, depending on your level of fitness. And so we customize it as much as possible to each client. We have also added an accountability service as well, besides the nutrition and the exercise. A lot of times, you know, when you travel, food and exercise are low on the totem pole. You know, I think that people really do have good intentions and they do want to do better, but because they're so busy, because they travel so much, because they're so tired, it just falls low on the list. Because when you get to where you're going, you've got people to answer to. You know, you've got to get to the next meeting. You've got to get to your hotel to drop your bags off. You've got to get to the next conference. It's just not a vacation type of lifestyle. It is a work lifestyle with travel included. And so that does make it a little bit harder. And so this accountability piece allows us to help you push forward in the direction of your goals by sending you text messages. We keep in communication with you throughout your trip if you choose to add this on to your wellness itinerary so that we can help you as you go through the trip to be successful all the way through the end.
That's awesome. You know, this is a wonderful idea. This is a wonderful niche because there's so many people out there who need.
Yes.
And, you know, where were you when I was traveling? That's always an option. Like, what do you eat? And then when you go to the restaurant, sometimes very early, they are not open, or because you have a meeting later in the day, or if you got there late, the chefs are gone and they have only limited options of what they can make.
Yes.
So those things come into play a lot. Now, you said you give them options of menu and this is what you eat, but do you also give them like options like this, or this for dinner? Excuse me.
So in answer to your question that is a possibility. We can do that. We don't always because it is very highly customizable. And as far as, you know, like legal reasons, it's all food suggestions. And the reason for that is because if we were actually building specific meal plans like that, that would like require a registered dietitian. And so because we have to work around the legalities, we may suggest food and suggest restaurants for you. And we might be able to tell you like the best the best options that they have on their menu. Like, for example, you want to go to this one place in Chicago and they have this favorite food item on their menu. It's their most popular. We can do things like that. Yes.
Okay. No, so that's good to know because then some people can ask you different questions and you can say, hey, I can't do that because you need a dietitian.
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you have plans to get a dietitian?
Yeah, we would eventually like to branch out. Once we work with all of our wellness itinerary clients, we definitely want to continue on hopefully servicing our clients as online personal trainers so that we can continue to work with them when they're at home and when they travel. And then possibly also getting a registered dietitian on staff. That way we could actually build them specific meal plans based on where they're going. So yeah, I have quite large visions for the upcoming years.
Let me ask you another question. Do you plan to help people on the go, like moms on the go, people who are not traveling as much, but do travel? Like, for example, myself, I'm now a caregiver for my husband.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so on the go all the time, picking him up from this place, taking him to a doctor's appointment, taking him here. You know, so many things happen in the middle. It's like I don't have time to eat, or sometimes I forget to eat. So do you have plans to branch out into that industry as well?
I haven't actually thought about doing locals, and it would be something that we could easily implement. My only concern with it would be, you might be able to, like, we could build you a wellness itinerary for that particular trip, or even in your surrounding area. Like, we could base it on where you live. And so once we based your itinerary on where you live, we could branch out from there and find the healthiest restaurant options for you. But I would say, if you have dietary restrictions, you probably already know those. You know what I mean? So it is definitely something that we could implement and do for that specific clientele that wanted it, especially if we kept them on, as a personal training client. We could do it based on where they live in their home. But I would say, for the most part, because you live there, you probably already know those places.
Okay. No, because this is a question that comes up. I have friends who always tell me, I am one of them, and there are others who are also in that same boat, not only doing caregiving stuff, but they're always constantly busy. And, the excuse, I feel it's an excuse that I don't have time, or I don't find anything that I want to eat. I think it's an excuse, because if you decided to little scrutinize it a little bit more, then that would be an option. Just do the homework before you leave the house.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, I know these things, but I'm just being the devil's advocate.
Sure.
Any last words for our viewers?
No, we are, like I said, we are getting Road Warrior Wellness Concierge up and running. And so we are taking beta testers on right now, because we are trying to perfect the system as much as possible so that we can give the client absolutely everything that they want and they need. And so if anyone is interested, we are taking on beta testers through the website. So it is www.RW Road Warrior, RW Travels with an S, well.com, and then / beta testing. So we are very excited to jump into this next phase to make sure that everything works out the way that we want it to.
That's awesome. Is that the same website to contact you with?
Yes. We have a contact sheet on there as well.
So when you finish the interview, can you give us a little bit of the same website down below in the comment section?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is an awesome interview. It's an awesome industry. And the thing is, fitness and wellness is a big thing these days. And everybody wants to be healthy. Most people don't take care of themselves. And this is a good way to do it, because now you don't have an excuse. Now you have an accountability partner, and a partner in crime, in your eating crime, so that you can eat healthy and be healthy all together. It's a one-piece shop. And Jennifer, thank you so much for being here, because this is an awesome niche. I appreciate it. And you know what? It's just breaking down the word. And there you go. You found that you've taken the leap of faith, and you found your niche, and it's amazing. How do you feel right now?
I'm really, really excited. I have got a lot of projects going on at work, and I lovingly refer to them as my third child. So I'm very excited about it, and I think about it all the time, because it's exciting to me. I enjoy it.
And there you go. So it comes from the heart, and if you're doing something that you really love, then you're excited, you love it, and you don't let it go for a second. Like you said, it's like a child. You're always thinking, what are they doing? What is the next step? How are we going to do this? How are we going to, and you're already enhancing the program in your mind, even though you haven't started it or started baby steps. So go ahead and take that first leap of faith, because that's the thing. And niches are not hard to find. I help you find the niches. And once you find your niches, it's very easy to get going, because that first step is the step that's the most difficult. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I appreciate it. Jennifer's going to give us some information about her website, and go ahead and contact her if you are a busy individual that's jumping on a plane all the time, because this is something we all need.
Yes. Thanks so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Munira's Musings with your host, Munira Zahabi. If you enjoyed our show, please share and subscribe to this channel. And for more content, please join our Facebook group